Okay, this is just briefly. I learned this song in India, in the Himalaya Mountains, right in the border of Tibet, in Darjeeling district in 1992. I sang at a retreat for these young Jesuit novices, 10 days up there, and it was in a stone building like this, but no heat, and of course it got very cold at night. And every night before the Jesuits would go to bed, they'd gather in a chapel very much like this, and there were no pews, and they'd just kneel in a circle or on the floor, and there would be a bowl of fire, like just a flame in the center of the circle, and they would sing this song: "Deep calls to deep, and my soul finds no resting place but Him. He is my God, the yearning of my soul His touch can still. And each rare moment I felt His presence, I will remember and forever cherish." Just stunning song. And then one guy would go. They did this every single night. This guy would pick up this flame, this bowl in his hand, and he'd take it to the first corner of the room, and he'd make 3 big, huge circles. And then the next corner, 3 big, huge circles. And he went to each corner. And then he brought it to everybody sitting in the circle and held out the flame to them. And each individual person would, if they so chose, would cup their hands over the flame until the bowl of their hands would fill with smoke, and then they'd wipe it through their hair and over their face, and they're almost like a Native American smudging ceremony. And then he'd put the bowl back in the center, and we'd wait for it to run out of fuel. And by then, all the other candles and incense would have been blown out. It would have been the last remaining light. And the symbolism, they took it actually, they Christianized a Hindu ritual, because that's where they all came from, was the Hindu tradition. But he says, we put the light of Christ in the center of the room, and we gaze on it to remind ourselves that we're not the center, but we gaze on it, right? And you take that light to the 4 corners of the earth, but this isn't any kind of wishy-washy light. This is the light of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. And you offer it to everybody who, by an act of their own will, they take the light on themselves, right? But you don't leave the room until the light goes out. That's the ascension of Christ back to the Father. Now the light's born within you. Now go out into all the world and preach the gospel. It's fantastic. This is their bedtime song. So.
Deep calls to deep, and my soul finds no resting place but Him. He is my God, the yearning of my soul His touch can still. And each rare moment I felt His presence, I shall remember and forever cherish. Deep calls to deep, and at His feast I am a welcomed guest. He gives me food, the hunger of my soul is laid to rest. And each rare moment I felt His presence, I shall remember and forever cherish. Deep calls to deep, for He created me to be His own. He understands the joy and pain of life He too has known. And each rare moment I felt His presence, I shall remember and forever cherish. And each rare moment I felt His presence, I shall remember and forever cherish.
That's the one, right? You want it? Okay. It's like how my grandsons would ask for a song, for the song.